Hi everyone, welcome to Explore with Dhilip. So today we are going to discuss something very interesting about a movie or a book that has been discussed widely for the past 1 or 2 weeks. So it's all over the internet. The movie name is Odyssey. So there is also a book called Odyssey, written by Homer before 3000 years ago, around 800 to 900 BC. So why this book is still relevant today is that it's a very fascinating story which every human being can relate to. Now, before going forward, if you haven't watched the movie or if you haven't read the book, this video can be a spoiler. So, I request to stop here and then go back and watch the movie and come back. This is going to be more of a reflective video. This movie deeply affected me after watching Christopher Nolan's movie, The Odyssey. I have been a biggest fan of him for many years now. Interstellar, Prestige, and Inception, of course, Batman series. So all these movies I've diligently watched him because he does a great work. He does deep research. He many very complicated thing he simplifies and then brings to you in a more elegant manner which you can resonate with. Particularly Interstellar really inspired me a lot because I am one of the fans of Star Trek, who wants to go beyond stars. So I believe that this movie Odyssey, inside the book of Odyssey there is a person called Odysseus. So if you haven't watched the movie called Troy, or don't know anything about Greek gods, I request you to go back to my channel where I have explained about Greek gods. Of course, in Tamil I have explained. If you want, do comment. I can make it in English about Greek gods and then the history of Troy and everything. So please go back and brush up your Greek mythology. We all are familiar with an Indian mythology from Mahabharata and Ramayana, but this, in order, there is a lot of similarity in this mythology also. So I kind of request you to go back and understand how many miles apart, how people have thought in a similar term. So do go back and check out the videos. So let's jump right back in. So this movie is about a war that has happened, a huge war that is in Troy. Greece is a small countries, accumulation of put together of small countries, that is Greece. So there is a person called Agamemnon. He kind of united the entire Greece under one banner. His brother is Melanius. So his wife is one of the beautiful queen called Helen. So the guest who came from Troy, named Paris and Hector, came there, and then Paris really liked Helen, and then they eloped. The war started. They really offended Melanius, who's a Sparta king. About Spartans who are known for their bravery and strength. So he got offended, and then he asked his brother Agamemnon to ask for revenge. So they create a huge army, thousands of people and ships. They thought this armada will easily defeat Troy, but Troy is a self-sufficient country where huge walls are built and they live inside the city. So when the Greeks go there, they get disappointed because they are unable to defeat the Trojan army, because they fight and then they go back inside the wall. So they fight for many years there. They have lost many soldiers, and Achilles also fought. So I also explained about the Trojan War in detail in another video. If you want, please go check that out as well. But in a nutshell, that Achilles kills the brother, that is Hector, and then Paris still survives and kills the Achilles. This Odyssey movie starts after the Trojan War. So the idea is that they are unable to defeat the Trojans. So they have strategy. They have created a strategy. That strategy is proposed by the intelligent guy is Odysseus. So Odysseus is a king of Ithaca. Ithaca is a small country, a rocky country which is inside the coast of Greece. He is one of the clever guys who creates this strategy. Okay, we are unable to defeat Trojans, so let us devise a strategy that to build a big wooden horse. We will give them a gift that will make them believe that they have won the war, and then this horse is a gift for them, for Athena, for the goddess Athena. So they will take the horse inside because their Trojans are very religious people. So once they saw that we have defeated the Greeks, they are very happy, and then some of them proposed to burn the wooden horse, but some people believed it's a sacred thing, so they have taken the horse inside. They have actually placed that horse near the temple, and they celebrated and they went off. Later, the Greeks in the night, the Greeks have come out and they captured the city. They believed that they have invited a guest, and then the Greeks have broken the sacred law. Sacred law is called Xena, which is Zeus law. That is called as Zeus law in the movie. This Zeus law is something when somebody comes inside our house, they can be God. So treat them well, provide them food, shelter, and gifts, so that you never know who will come in the disguise of a god, of any person. A god may come. So Zeus law, under Zeus law, anybody who comes inside your home, you should treat them well. That is how they have treated them. And then the Greeks have decimated the entire Trojan city, and then the entire civilization fell. After 10 years, the Greeks leave that shore of Troy. Everybody faces the issue. It's just 1 or 2 weeks from Troy to Greece, but almost everybody faces the punishment. The most punishment faced by is Odysseus. Odysseus has a wife called Penelope. He has one son called Telemachus, and he also has one dog called Argus. I really love the dog character. I will tell you why. We all know dog is a very loyal pet, but in that movie it kind of exceeds that loyalty altogether. It transcends it, I would say. Already the Trojan War has taken 10 years of Odysseus' life. Now, when they started the journey, everything was fine. They believe they may reach within 1 or 2 weeks, even before many Greeks. Hundreds and hundreds of people from Ithaca, under the leadership of Odysseus, start the journey. Usually the journey is long, right? So they have stopped in many islands. So they have stopped in one of the island called Lotus Eaters, and then during that time the locals offered them the lotus as a food. So when they have eaten the food, it was very tasty and delicious. It kind of made them very comfortable. They forgot that they have to go home, and they really lost their purpose, why they have to go home. They forgot themselves. But Odysseus was one of the person who was very clever, and then he forced everybody to leave that island. And then next they go to is an island occupied by, because they need food, right? They need to go, and those times there is no storage facility, and also along the journey they have gathered the food and they traveled gold or silver, whatever it is. So during that journey they have collected it and they have went off. So this is how they raided the villages. So one of the villages, one of the island is occupied by cannibals, huge giants actually. So they are so huge, Greeks can't fight them. So when they saw them, they literally ran to save themselves. During that process, many were killed. The giants chased them, and then the cannibals chased them, and they ran off. The disappointment, they go to another island. So in this island, they go inside a cave where food are stored, cheese are stored. They start eating those cheese without asking for the permission. They believe that Zeus laws applies there. So they started eating, and then suddenly many goats come, and then there is a huge giant cyclops comes in. Cyclops name is Polyphemus. So he's a huge, I would say 20-30 foot giant. So he has only one eye, and then he closes the cave with the huge stone, and then he comes inside and eats the soldiers. In the book, the story is different, that for many days the soldiers are stuck. When asked, Odysseus, who are you? He says his name is nobody. During that conversation, they offer him wine and everything, but he keeps on eating the soldier. So the Odysseus becomes very angry, and he devises a strategy that to blind the Polyphemus, who is a son of Poseidon, who is also Greek god, who rules the sea. He's a god of sea, right? He tells during that time, so they blind the cyclops, and they try to disguise as a sheep. Sheep usually go outside to graze, right? So during that time they escape, but Odysseus was so proud and egoistic that he want to take revenge. So for the soldiers he lost, so he even though they have escaped, all the soldiers have left, but the Odysseus, prideful and egoistic guy, shoots one arrow inside the eyes of the Polyphemus, and he becomes very angry, and then he chases them, and they fall inside the he falls inside the sea, and then he curses the Greeks. In that time itself, Odysseus tells, don't forget that my name is Odysseus and I am from Ithaca. He reveals his identity. So Polyphemus prays to Poseidon, take revenge, avenge my you have to avenge these Greeks. So Poseidon takes forward his son request, and for many years they are unable to reach their home. Almost all the soldiers are lost. Only one ship has survived, and that one ship reaches another island. That island is managed by Circe, who is also a witch. This witch is converts the humans into animals, the mainly pigs. So this witch converts the soldiers into pigs, but Odysseus was very intelligent, and he survives the process, and then also he becomes friends with Circe, guides Odysseus how to reach the Ithaca, but she also warns that in this journey you might lose all the soldiers, but he refuses to accept the destiny that he is going to lose all the soldiers. He fights back, he says, I will take my soldiers, no matter what, I will try to save them. So he tries it. In that journey, there is one island. In that island, the mermaids, sea mermaids will be there. They will you have to cross them. Siren, they are called as sirens. So you have to cross them. Nobody who have crossed them have ever survived. Who hears the song has ever survived. Circe wants. Then Odysseus tells, I will put wax inside in the ears of the soldiers. So he puts wax. He requests one of his soldiers to tie himself in a pole. so that he will not react. So he wants to hear that song. So everybody is wearing wax, and when they crossed that island, the sirens started singing. Nobody can hear them but except Odysseus. So the Odysseus, after crossing that island, the soldier will ask, "What did you hear from the siren song?" He will tell, "All the things you wanted to be, all the things you wished you never wished for. It was a delicious itch you want to scratch, but you find it under the skin and you can't reach it. So the delicious itch becomes unbearable. It told you what you most want is what you most can't have, and what you most can't have is what you already had and lost." So this is one of the very deep dialogue which disturbed almost many people who watched the movie. It says that it told you what you want. I mean, what you desire most in this world. You had something, but you have lost it. The dialogue reminds of many things, right? So it says about the regrets, what might have happened if you have taken different choices in your life. What are the regrets? What are the desires you have? Temptations. It's basically, the song is a temptation that leads you to jump off the boat, and then the mermaids will drown you and then they'll eat you. So that desire, that temptation, that regret, it doesn't let you live in the present. It always takes back to the past and what are the future possibilities. It makes you, it tempts you to take the wrong decisions rather than to be in the present. That song actually is a very deep and the most difficult shot to be have taken. That particular scene stayed with me a lot. There is one more giant. There is a snake, 5-head giant, and another one is that whirlpool. So Odysseus has a choice, either to go inside this whirlpool and then lose everybody, or go this another monster is there. Sometimes life is like this. You can't take easy choices. Both the choices are difficult, but you have to take decisions which you lose a little, right? So Odysseus takes similar decisions. 4 or 5 soldiers are eaten by Scylla, the beast. So he sacrifices them, and then they reach another island. Circe would have warned that there will be cows will be there, which is God's property, so don't eat those cows. The Odysseus warned the Greek soldiers. For many days they are stranded because of winds. For many days they resist the temptation of eating the cows, but when Odysseus was sleeping, they eat the cows and soldiers get cursed. So almost everybody are supposed to die. So they reach another island where the dead comes to life. During that time, the dead comes that suddenly he meets Achilles and all the soldiers, Sinon, and then Agamemnon. He meets everybody, and then they tell what happened back home, and they warn him what is happening. So simultaneously, back home in Ithaca, Penelope have been waiting for 20 years. So queen without a king, people cannot accept. People thought that Odysseus have died during the journey. Many people have reached home from Trojan War, but Odysseus and his crew did not reach. So they decided that they have died. Many people, nearly 108 suitors, have come inside the palace, and they stayed there for many years, eating the Penelope's food and wine. Penelope was clever. She told the suitors, saying that I'm weaving a cloth that will be put on the Odysseus' grave. So when I finish weaving this cloth, then only I will decide the suitor. In between, the antagonist, that is Antinous, who is the main villain, the other suitors actually tried to persuade Penelope to marry, but Penelope was very loyal, and she did not give up on the Odysseus. Her loyalty and patience have really even tested his own son, Telemachus. Telemachus is an impatient son who wants to become king. He doesn't have the experience to face the suitors. Suitors are more strong. He's a small guy. They can beat him off easily and maybe kill him also. They actually tried to kill Telemachus also, but with the help of Odysseus. Meanwhile, the Odysseus is in island meeting the dead, and the dead wants that there are suitors who are about to desecrate their home, so they send them off. So they come to the sea again. In the sea, Poseidon again breaks the boat. Almost all the crew is dead, and Odysseus he reaches the Calypso's island. So Calypso is another goddess who is the main character. So immediately Calypso likes Odysseus, and then she comforts him, she takes care of him, she gives him all the pleasures in the world, and then she even offers him immortality. His comfort actually made him forget who he is and then where he needs to go, everything. For many years he forgot who he was. So it was Calypso's idea to feed him lotus flowers and then to make him forget who he was. So slowly realizing that who he was, but Calypso want him to keep him. Meanwhile, in the book, they tell that Athena asks Zeus to understand Odysseus' loneliness and pain, and she requests Zeus to send Hermes, Zeus's son, to rescue Odysseus from Calypso. So Hermes comes and tells Calypso to release Odysseus. So finally, after 7 years, Calypso releases Odysseus. Even during that time, Odysseus was not given any boat, but he builds his own raft, and then he comes in the sea. Even that time also, Poseidon breaks the raft, and then he reaches Ithaca. Again in the book, he doesn't reach immediately. He goes to another kingdom with the help of another king. He comes back to Ithaca. So in Ithaca, he directly doesn't announce that he is the king of Ithaca, or he is the Odysseus. Rather than he disguises himself as a beggar. When he has come to know that the Antinous and other suitors have conspired to murder his son, then he goes there and saves his son. Then they come back again. Odysseus tells his son to arrange another feast so that all the suitors will be there, and then the Odysseus will come as a beggar and see what is the situation. So meanwhile, Telemachus also doesn't know that it is his father. When Odysseus comes there for that feast, in the gate there will be one dog, that is hunting dog, raised by Odysseus 20 years back. His name is Argus. So he recognizes, nobody else recognizes, the people doesn't recognize, his son doesn't recognize, his own friends doesn't recognize, but the only person who recognizes Odysseus as a beggar in disguise is the dog. Have reached his natural age, that it can only live up to certain age, but it extended his age to 20 years, and then one last time it recognizes his master and shakes his tail. Then finally, while Odysseus watches the dog, he cries, and then the dog dies there. So when Telemachus sees this situation, that only person who have seen, his son doesn't remember his father, so only person who recognizes is Argus. So then immediately he asks, "Are you Odysseus?" Then he doesn't respond. Simply they go inside, and then meanwhile, uh, Telemachus always wanted to become the king of Ithaca. So he asks his mother to make him king. But Penelope says, "You can't be a king because the suitors will kill you and they will become king." Uh, so she offers one bow that only Odysseus can, string it. His son tries many times, he fails. Then he realizes how strong his father was, but also how intelligent his father was. So during that feast, Telemachus request before itself to mother that accept for a wedding, so that we can send all the suitors. We have to deal with only one person who marries you. This idea is proposed by Odysseus only. So finally, the feast is arranged. The Antinous is a coward who refused to come to the Trojan War. Sinon would take his place. So he promised money for Sinan's family also, but he did not fulfill his promise. So they made sure that the revenge is also taken. He requested Odysseus to take that revenge. So he comes back and then gives one of the sticks, that is selection sticks, by Sinon. Immediately he realizes that they found out he is a coward. He becomes very angry. He beats off the beggar. He falls down. After that, Penelope comes and agrees that I am accepting for a marriage. But I have one condition, that anybody who strings the bow and shoots the arrow after all the obstacles, that person only I will marry. But everybody, that 108 shooters try the bow, but nobody is able to string the bow. It was so strong. It's similar to Ramayan, right? Like even Karnan. So everybody tries. Finally, Odysseus request. Everybody laughs at him, but they let him try. So he tries it. Everybody was laughing at him, and then immediately he strings the bow, and then he has the habit of stringing the habit, like which makes the sound for their prey to save themselves. So when the bow is stringed and when the sound is made, immediately Antinous recognizes that is Odysseus. So he runs off. People stop him. Immediately after that string made, Penelope recognized that is Odysseus, and silently she walks inside the room. And then Odysseus starts to release the arrows, and then he starts killing people, those suitors who have pillaged and abused their families for many years. This is the story, and then finally everybody submits and realizes that is Odysseus, and then the wounded Odysseus comes back to Penelope and gives a pin that is given to him by Penelope when he went to the war, right? She made a promise that you should come back from war. So in order to fulfill that promise, Odysseus comes back with the pin of Athena, and he gives the pin to Penelope and falls on her lap. So that is one side it is loyalty, one side it is love, and one side it is home, and then everything comes together, and then they live. They travel again with a boat. In that movie, before the Trojan War, Penelope proposes, let's take the fastest boat and then chase the sunset. We'll go very long wherever we want. We have the ability to travel. So Odysseus never agrees, but now he says that let us chase the sunset. there are many things in this movie that resonates with people. Is that everybody's journey has many monsters. So these monsters can take many shapes in their life. So one is comfort, one is testing your patience, one is pride, one is ego, and loyalty is discussed, and then love is discussed, temptation is discussed. So after 3000 years, this movie is still relevant, this literature is still relevant to any human on earth, is because they discussed human emotion, that equilibrium, or even a commonality, the thread that binds us. We might have many technologies now than Odysseus, but if you take away love, if you take away purpose, if you take away the family hope, humans will get lost. So you may give so much comfort to them, pleasures and everything inside in the world, but if you make that person feel that they have lost or they don't have any purpose, then definitely how much ever pleasure, how much ever money in this world can never satisfy an individual. After watching that movie, there is one question that really haunted me. That is, what is the bow that I can only string? Right. So, what is my bow? What is my bow that I can only string? Right? That question, because Odysseus was such a talented person, how much ever obstacles that came into his life, he somehow overcame it. He did not give up on those obstacles, so he overcame those obstacles, and then he was so talented that he has a unique talent. Nobody else can string the bow except Odysseus. So he was so strong. He had that technique. Only he can do something. So similarly, in my life, what I can only do in the place I am in, what uniqueness I have. And another question is that, what is that one, many monsters we have, but one monster that really scares you, and what is that comfort, or what is that lotus flower you have currently, that makes you so comfortable and forget your purpose? Who is that calypso to you? And what are the regrets you have in your life? Then you always go back to the past, or to the future, but you forget to realize what you have currently, what you have in the present. So these are the questions that really disturbed me, made me think, made me ponder, and that is the reason why I wanted to create this video. I just need to rethink. This story has survived for many civilization, many languages. Time has tested this story, but still this story is relevant to mankind. It doesn't matter who you are or which country, which language you speak, but the underlying is human emotions. So that is what this book is about, that is what his movie is about. Of course, Nolan has again done an extraordinary job. The music, the picturization, you would travel in time to Ithaca, and then, or even in that journey, you would become Odysseus, or you would become that person who's suffering. So picturization, everything is great. So do go and watch. I am going to watch once more, many times also, read that book many times, as long as it reminds me or teaches me that lesson which I want to learn. So thank you so much for listening to me. I believe that I will release this as a podcast, or a book review, or a movie review. So stay in touch. Thank you. Bye bye.